Hi, this is Vidya Balan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
We have this Vidya Balan. Kahaani 2 is doing very well at the box office, and more importantly, she has given a performance which is it just makes you just sit up and take notice once again, because she has given some amazing performances in the past, but this is another performance that maybe she has never done before. With the pleasure having you back on
Thank
Bollywood
you.
Hungama, and congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, you keep on coming up with amazing performances. Even I still remember even Bobby Jasus, when I watched it, I think I loved what you did in the film as well.
Thank you.
So ये क्या 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 आप खाती क्या है, क्या ये जादू क्या है, ये एनर्जी आपके अंदर आती कहाँ से?
I think it's really dictated by my hunger as an actor.
It shows.
Yeah, because
shows.
you know, for me, being an actor means living different people's lives on screen.
Right.
And I'm getting those opportunities. I'm getting to work with directors who have the faith that I will be able to bring to life a new person every time. And I feed on that. You know, I feed on that faith.
Sure.
And I enjoy what I do. So I think, I feel extremely grateful to be receiving this kind of love. You know, I've been inundated with messages and calls, and I feel really, really blessed, because one is to do what you love doing, and then to reap rewards for it is like the icing on the cake.
जी बिल्कुल. Now, I think yardstick for any movie is primarily that how it just shows the growth, and Saturday and Sunday have been good for Kahaani 2, which is a positive sign that shows that people are liking the film and they're coming inside the theaters. But do you feel that maybe it could have done better business if this entire demonetization thing
honestly,
wouldn't have been there?
I don't get into the numbers at all. But my team definitely feels that if not for demonetization, we would have done better. But I'm happy with the numbers. Given the situation, I think we fared well. Because you can't wish it away now. It's here. It's for real.
It's there.
So, you know, within that, I think we're doing well. And what's really making me happy is two things. One, that families are going to watch the film.
Ji.
You know, and they're recommending it to other people. So the word of mouth is very strong. And secondly, is that when people come out of the film, despite the fact that they're having to face some very hard truths or facts, they're coming out saying, we're feeling good. We're feeling like there's hope. So I think that in a movie like this, because you know, when I come out of the theatre as an audience, I always want to feel good.
Ji.
Whatever I watch, no matter what I watch, I want to come out feeling like there's hope in life. So personally speaking, I think that makes me very happy, that people are saying, you know, it's such a difficult to digest truth, and yet people are coming out saying, at least she's safer now.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what you'd hope for every child.
Bilkul.
Yeah.
The mother-daughter, I think, relationship, the way it has come across is simply beautiful, and there are several, I think, courageous things that you've done in terms of body language as well, when you're trying to show to the girl that is it this way that you are being abused. But you know, it's like something that one can't wish away the fact that the Kahaani was such a huge success. And in terms of the thrill element, and when people start comparing with Kahaani, then they feel that maybe shayad wo ek shayad thrill element jo hai, shayad, as a story, as a human story, it is beautiful, but maybe shayad wo jo thrill element tha, maybe shayad wo thoda sa missing tha.
No, I think we were expecting this, honestly. Kyunki wo Kahaani jaisa big reveal to hai nahi isme.
Bilkul.
It was a subject that needed a reveal.
Ji.
That is the big takeaway from Kahaani 2. So we were always aware कि वो तो नहीं है, पेट निकालना वो नहीं है, वो moment नहीं है इसमें.
बिल्कुल.
For us, therefore, it is an emotional suspense thriller. And yet, I think there are twists and turns, which people are also saying there are. But they're saying कि end में वो, you know, which I completely understand. I can't. Those comparisons, I think, are bound to be there.
Right.
Which is also something else that we were aware of. But we told ourselves that we are not going to compare the two films, because if we did, we wouldn't be able to tell the story.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be able to do it justice. So I think Shujoy always saw it as a human drama, which is why I think even in the way he described the film and I described the film, he always said it was about a mother living up to the promise she makes to her child. I always said, you know, for me, it was more about whether she's a mother or a murderer.
Correct.
So I think that really, to me, today when I look back, because I've had 3 days to just chill and do nothing.
Absolutely.
When I look back, I think he's always seen it as an emotional suspense thriller.
Bilkul. And when it comes to the emotion part of it, I think any viewer will feel satiated.
Yeah.
Will feel satiated because you have that nice feeling when you see what happens at the end of it. What is very special about your performance is that any woman, any young actress is extremely particular about the way they look, the way they just do their makeup, and any and every strand has to be in proper place. But when we see your performance, and for most parts you're having like a scar on your face, and you're just carrying it extremely gracefully. Where does this courage come inside Vidya Balan? This entire stoicness that you have. It's not easy actually. Because women vanity comes very naturally, and in a way I think it should as well.
And I think for an actor,
right, exactly, especially for actors.
Yeah. But for me, it's about being true to that person and to the situation.
Ji.
I didn't think of it
I'm sure
like that.
I
I didn't think twice. And for me, beauty is it's not conventional. Beauty is what beauty does for me. So there are people with scars who are also beautiful. And after an accident, you know what, I couldn't, if that's part of the story, I can't say, but my makeup has to be, I can't have a scar on my face.
Correct.
And
but they can be actresses. I'm sorry to that कि थोड़ा सा इसको कम कर दीजिए, and you can always just make it slightly less shade of whatever.
Yeah.
So that could have been there.
I don't know. For me, it's I get excited when I'm able to really meld. What is the word? When I'm able to really blur the lines between that person and me at some point of time.
No, I'm sure.
I know very clearly in my head that is Durga Rani Singh or Vidya Sinha, and this is Vidya Balan. That difference is very clear in my head. I think therefore I don't care about these things on screen.
Bilkul. Now, the best part about watching a Vidya Balan performance is that there are always surprises, and even in this performance, there are several Vidya Balans. As a viewer, what I felt was you move around like a chameleon, because there are several characters that you're playing depending on the growth of your character. When you're shown in Kalimpong, the sort of hesitancy that you have and nervousness that you have because of whatever has happened in the past, and your interaction with the girl and the energy, the way it changes when you are playing the role of the mother, which comes in the beginning, and when you're talking to the doctor and the entire conversation, there is a different body language and energy to it. And then what happens in the second half, and the sort of things that happen, especially the climax, what some would say that pre-climax in a way, and the sort of maniacal energy that you display is something which is amazing. So there are several characters that you're playing in one film itself. Is it something that is your director that guides you, or is it something that you read the character and just take it along?
Well, firstly, thank you very much. I think it is Shujoy Ghosh. It's the way he wrote Kahaani too. The way he saw Durga Rani Singh and what he told me. I still remember when we were doing that climax where there is this maniacal energy. He kept telling me, I want you to be completely mad. They have said it's not your child. It is your child.
Correct.
How can... She is more yours than she is her grandmother's or uncle's. How can they even... So, I think that kept playing in my head. That thing that how dare you tell me it's not my child. And who is a child? Someone you protect. And I've protected her far more than anyone else has. So I think and at the same time, Shujoy gives me my space. So he tells me, I think that's why we work well together. We understand each other. He knows how much to tell me, how much not to tell me, or when to stop. And I'm constantly, before we start shooting for a film, I'm constantly asking questions. On set, I don't ask any questions. I do that preparation before, because I don't think on set, especially on the kind of films that I do, I don't have the luxury of time where we can say, "Acha, now let's talk about the script, the character, or the graph." Or, but I think it is the director. It is what um, it is the director, for sure.
Mukesh Chabra, I think he's like a hero as well, of sorts. There are people who missed Bob Biswas, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think there's some wonderful casting that has been done. Arjun Rampal, I think a lot of women I've seen on Facebook, I've seen a few posts where women are lusting about him.
Yeah, that
And,
they always do.
But I think he's come up with a very good performance.
Oh, of course. Performance,
he's put in a very sensitive performance as well.
Yeah,
It's like
of
a
course.
compassionate performance. And the best part is that he emerges as a hero because he doesn't try to overshadow the main lead. And Haldar, I think, was outstanding.
He's always outstanding, you know. Kharaj Mukherjee.
Kharaj Mukherjee is outstanding.
I would watch him on set and I'd be amazed because nothing he does makes him look like he's acting, which is a great feat,
Right,
you know,
right.
because we're all trying to seem as natural can be. But here is this man who, you know, his personality is also such that it's a slightly, a little more pronounced reaction than all, but it never looks, and he's got great comic timing also.
Absolutely.
You know,
and
he's
it's very natural.
amazing.
And there's a very nice energy to it. Something
yeah.
that we normally don't see in Hindi films.
Yeah.
And that adds to the charm. Even that inspector, that lady inspector. I think she has a lot of
Absolutely.
that entire.
She looks like so regular, and she's an assassin. But that, I think, is really Shujoy wanting to show that, you know, normal is what you make it out to be.
Right.
Because we all believe that we are all normal.
Right.
But beneath that veneer of normalcy, there can be many demons. I think that's what Jugal Hansraj, Jugal was so lovely. You know, because you've seen him as Masoom.
Ji.
I think Mukesh Chabra and Shujoy really struck gold with that casting, because who would have imagined that he could be the perpetrator, but he is.
Okay, I think we shouldn't be talking about it because the movie is still in the theaters and it's still early days. And the movie is touching on a very, I think, important subject, that is child sexual abuse.
Yeah.
We've seen in the recent past that Pink has had a very positive impact on in terms of the way people should look at this entire no means no has become like an anthem of sorts in a way as well. And the way you're just telling things, there are a lot of people, and the worst part is that the relatives of the abusers, the way they try to shield these people is something which is extremely unfortunate. You'd like to say something about this aspect, because
Yeah, I think, you know, it's been...
people don't realize, but it's a big menace.
It's a big menace.
And it has a far-reaching negative impact on children as they grow up older.
Statistics show that every second boy may be a victim of abuse. And I think every third girl. So it's actually more prevalent amongst boys.
And you don't expect the boys to be abused.
Yeah, but I think both are at equal risk. And I couldn't get my head around, you know, I've read about abuse. I've seen films about it. I've known people who've gone through child sex abuse. So this is something that I couldn't even begin to imagine, forget, accept. And I think that's what happens most often. It's something you just want to wish away, you know, which is why it was such a tightrope walk.
Ji.
It was such a delicate balance. But I think Shujoy has managed it beautifully, because without showing anything, he still gets his point across.
Correct.
You know, and at the same time, in certain important scenes, like in that scene where I prod her, you know, with questions.
Correct.
To ask her what is really happening with her.
Ji.
I'm giving her my own example.
Right.
I'm personalizing it. So those were tricky scenes, but I think they've been dealt with very carefully. I feel when I saw it at the screening, I actually teared up at that scene.
No, must have actually, because you don't expect such sort of depiction.
Yeah.
And I think it's a far better depiction than actually showing graphic details.
Exactly.
It is far
and you know,
better
because the communication is what is lacking.
Exactly. People,
you know,
the communication will be far more through
exactly,
this.
because the communication is what will solve a lot of things. If kids have the courage to come up to their guardians, their parents, and tell them that this is what is happening to them, you know, there'd be a definite reduction in the percentage of child sex abuse.
Absolutely. I think
But
it should
I
happen.
think it's such an uncomfortable truth, you know, because I think most often within families, it happens most often within families
Exactly.
or with
Immediate family members and
or with, you know, people who the families trust.
families trust.
And invariably, it's someone they are financially or emotionally dependent
No,
on,
that's
which is what makes it impossible.
correct. And that's how the families they just try to cover it up.
Exactly. So I hope this, you know, gives courage to those who've had the unfortunate experience of it, or who are seeing things around them, to acknowledge this, to follow their instinct, and you know, probably save a child the ordeal of living with this for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Now, Vidya, as we discussed in the past as well, that your interviews are extremely interesting, and you come up with some very interesting, in fact, statements. You said in an interview that "Khoon kholta tha mera" at male actors getting paid more even when she had the bigger role or endlessly waiting for them on the set.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, why should I cover down? Why should I accept the second position?
Yeah.
That's very nice. Khoon kholta tha, when I read "Khoon kholta tha mera," I can actually visualize how you must be saying. You must have said.
No, really, "Khoon kholta tha mera."
Ji.
Because there was one particular instance where I had the bigger role. I was giving the film more number of days, and yet the actor was getting paid more. You know, and I'm like, I'm not asking you to put my name before the male actor just for the sake of it.
Ji.
I'm not asking you to pay me more if I don't have that bigger role, but pay me what's due to me.
Absolutely.
Firstly. So you're telling me that, you know, you're negotiating and all that, and then I get to know that you're paying the actor twice the amount for half the amount of work. I was like, you know, what the hell?
So we won't go to the details actually.
Yeah.
There's another interesting statement that you made, that she talks about being driven by anger. She admits to feeling anger even when people call her Mrs. Siddharth Roy Kapoor, or how they sometimes invite him and say, let Vidya know. She questions why she is asked again and again when she's going to have a child. Meanwhile, married male actors are never asked, when are you impregnating your wife?
Exactly. You know,
when are you impregnating your wife?
Male actors are never asked, अच्छा तो अब तो, you know, आपकी शादी हो गई है. When are you impregnating your wife? So why are you asking me?
Right.
And what is the meaning of that question really?
Right.
And you won't believe what happened to me last week. I was promoting, I think I was in Delhi, and I've said all this to the interviewer, and then she says, हाँ पर 2 से 3 होने का इरादा है आपका? And I was like, यार क्या फायदा, कुछ भी कह के क्या फायदा?
You know, it's funny that many times women are the ones who ask this question in the first place.
But it is, but I guess they don't know any better,
Right.
I don't know why it becomes mandatory to ask a girl when you're getting married, if you're seeing someone, and secondly, when you're having a child once you're married.
Right, yeah, that's,
you know,
that's
even if you have a cold, it's like a sign of pregnancy if you're married. And you know what I said was about being, you know, people send messages to Siddharth saying, invite you and Vidya. Please, can you convey to her, you have my number. We work together. Or we know each other. From before Siddharth and I got together. Why would you do that? Tell me.
Correct.
It's crazy, na? I don't understand these things. Right. Or when they write Mr. and Mrs. Siddharth Roy Kapoor, I love my husband. That's why I am with him.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I'm okay to be ignored in a Mrs. Yeah.
Right, that's true. That is true. And you've never changed the surname or anything.
No, not
always,
at all.
And you also said that my anger has meant pain to me, but it has also meant survival. And before I give it up, I'm going to be sure that there is something at least as powerful to replace it on the road to clarity. You should write a book, yeah. Seriously. Seriously. You want to? Would like
you
to
know,
write a
I've
book?
been approached by many publishers, but I keep thinking that already मैं इतना बोलती हूँ फरीदून बुक में बहुत कुछ बोल दूँगी फिर घर से निकलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा.
No, but I think you should.
No,
so, आप कुछ इसके बारे में कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? My anger has meant pain to me, but it also meant survival.
No, but I think I've been angry about a whole lot of things.
जी.
Throughout life. I think especially growing up as a fat girl, I think you carry a certain amount of anger with you because I when I was growing up at home, I thought I was the most beautiful girl on planet Earth.
Right.
When you step out and then you begin to feel that you're being judged and all that, you begin to look at yourself differently.
Ji.
You know, right from that to all the criticism one goes through or judgments one goes through
Ji.
as an actor, as a female actor, I don't think it's easy. And I do sense a certain amount of unfairness, which I've rationalized to myself over time.
Ji, ji.
When I'm talking about unfairness, it's all this, you know, about the wage disparity, and there are little things. I'm sensitive, so things bother me.
Definitely.
But I think that has also helped me survive. That's really given me. I've always told myself that, come on, you can prove that you're bigger than this. You can prove that you're better than this.
Definitely.
And to myself. Whenever I'm trying to prove anything, it's only to myself. So I think that's why I say that it's helped me survive. And if I have to replace it with something, it has to be something that leads to more clarity.
Okay, and last question. You're playing in RJ, I believe, in the film that has been announced almost the day after when we interviewed you last.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that? What exactly are you
doing? You know, looking forward to that. But I start work on the Malayalam biopic this month.
Kamala.
In another 2 weeks, a biopic on Kamala Das. So I'm currently preparing for that.
Right.
And Tumhari Sulu has me playing a late night RJ, so that's going to be slightly naughty.
Achha, it's going to be naughty.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's high time that you did that, because I think you can do it amazingly well. You should have heard some of the things that she was saying before this interview started, actually. And as we said in the last interview, national award, is it something that do you feel that? I personally feel it's a spellbinding performance.
Thank you. That itself is an award for me. Whatever else comes is a bonus, really.
No, I hope, because I think it's like a really worthy performance, and national award की इज्जत बढ़ जाएगी अगर वो विद्या बालन को दिया जाए.
Oh my God!
So Vidya,
thank
you very much for being on Bollywood Hungama, and
you.
congratulations for doing a wonderful role once again, and a wonderful film. And we hope that it continues to do well in the box office, and looking forward to much more from you, and hopefully a book. I think it's due now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Business, Wana, Picture, releasing all over the world internationally.